Snap! Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer pop-up episode. Yes, here we are. I have popped up because we have lots to talk about. Yes, it's only been a few days since I did my weekly chat, but of course, as always, let's just lower this a little bit. As always, there is so much royal news going on, and lots more to do with the sort of Meghan and Harry and Fab Four situation. So I think we need to address things, but before I do, I want to go and find the chat room, because I know you guys like to comment, and I like to read all those comments too. So let's find the chat room and put it on live chat so that I can speak to you all. Let's take a little peek. Oh, why has it done this? It's gone a funny size. Hang on. Let's come out of that and do it again. I don't know why my screen has gone really small. And where's the chat room? Here it is. Let's do... Oh, I've got it. There we go. Sorry, my screen just literally went really, really small and tiny. Hello to everyone who has just come in. Linsby says, love your shirt. Thank you so much. Damali rather, says, where did you get your shirt? It was a gift. So thank you. And I'm fine, thank you, Gessie. Okay, so let's crack on with what this video is all about. So I'm actually going to start with a really sweet story. I want to start with some good news. Let's start with some good news. So, in fact, I'm going to give this piece of news a yellow fan flap, because it is good news. I don't need my black fan for this. So, a journalist spotted at Clarence House when Camilla was decorating the tree with the sick and disabled children, like she does every year. There was a photograph spotted at Clarence House, and it was Meghan and Charles when Charles walked Meghan down the aisle. And I just thought that was a really, really, really sweet thing to have in your home. And obviously it shows how much that moment meant to Prince Charles. I think he was totally highly honoured to have been given that role and sort of taken over from the whole, because of the whole Thomas Markle situation. So I think he felt immensely proud, and that's obviously a moment which he absolutely loves. So he has it in a photograph, in a photo frame, in Clarence House. And of course, you know, Clarence House is of course Prince Charles and Camilla's home. That is where they live. So, you know, any idea of like these rifts between the family, you know, the evidence is just not there. In fact, if you look deep like into their homes and the photographs, you can clearly see that there is certainly no animosity from that side. I mean, Prince Charles has obviously made Meghan feel extremely welcome into the family, and Doria for that matter. He's made Doria feel extremely welcome. So all this, you know, nonsense about the family not accepting Meghan, I'm not buying it. I didn't buy it at the time, and I'm really not buying it now. Tim says, "Dear Jesus, the T-shirt. Have you seen my T-shirt? It's beautiful, isn't it?" People laughing at the T-shirt. Walter says, in the US there are numerous articles about bona fide problems between William and Harry and Meghan. All a load of complete nonsense, I think. Tim says, I still don't understand why Meghan has no family at her wedding. I don't think she's that close with her family. I think that is true. I think that's evidence. And I don't think a lot of that is since she became a royal or since she started dating Harry. I think a lot of those issues are long-standing issues, and that was evident at the wedding. There wasn't that many family. I think that does speak volumes, but again, I don't think it's because of Meghan marrying into the royal family. Denise says, it was very touching to see Prince Charles walk his new daughter-in-law up the aisle. It was indeed. Do I think they'll have twins? No, but who knows? We aren't going to know. It needs to be a surprise. We'll find out when they do, because I don't think they know. You see, Meghan strikes me as being the sort of person that likes to plan and get things ready. So in that sense, I think she'd like to know what she's having. But at the same time, she kind of strikes me as being someone who's very traditional and would quite like a surprise. So two conflicting ideas, so I don't know whether she'd know or not, but I'm going with that I think she'd like a surprise. And of course, we don't know if it's twins or not. I think she'd know if it was twins. I think she'd find out that bit. Vinny says, up the aisle, down the aisle, and up the aisle and down the aisle. Yes, it was a fantastic moment. Up and down, up and down. Tim says, we never hear gossip about the Queen anymore. Seems to be Kate and Meghan going head to head all the time. Yes, they're at fisticuffs. They're going to be boxing. They're going to be the next boxing match. Forget Mike Tyson and whatever the other boxers are called. No, I'm only joking. That's my own fake news. I'm starting fake news. A Royal Rumble. Maybe the story about the Clarence House set Thomas Markle off. No, I don't think so. I think he just, I don't know. We'll get to that bit in a moment. That's on my list. Yes, there were some death threats made to Harry, but the authorities sorted it out. And that just goes to show how good the security is. They spotted it, they found it. Let's just lower that a little bit. They spotted it, they found it all out, and there was prosecutions made, and there we go. Jerry says, I saw the topic re Meghan's father and thought, oh God, what now? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Oh, it's very cold in New York City, apparently. We'll get to the too demanding bit in a moment. Okay, my next bit. Oh, Kiki says, oh my God, you're on. Didn't get a reminder. It depends when YouTube wants to notify you. Okay, so we've talked about the photo at Clarence House. The next story I've got down is Harry and Meghan not attending the Royal Foundation Christmas party. Well, obviously, as we know previously, the Royal Foundation was made up of Catherine, William and Harry. It was known as, or affectionately known as, the Royal Trio. Before the marriage, it was announced that Meghan would join the foundation, and since then it's been affectionately known as the Fab Four. Now, the Fab Four, as a foursome, do not have to attend every single Royal Foundation event together. You know, maybe in this situation with all the gossip going on, maybe it would have been a good idea to have done, but they don't have to. So what they've done is, a spokesperson for the palace actually said that they've decided to take it in turns in attending this event. So this year it was William and Catherine, next year it should be Harry and Meghan, and William and Catherine will stay at home. So it's a good way of dividing up the duties between the Royal Foundation. You know, it is a bit of an overlap to have, you know, to have all of them together. But like I say, it comes at a bad time because obviously some people will speculate that it's because of the rift and the divide and the tensions and all this business. Ugh. By the way, I've ordered tension tamer tea to relieve myself of all these royal tensions. I think they all need tension tamer tea. Yes, I've ordered tension tamer tea for real, because all these royal things, all these salacious gossip is just getting to me. It really is. So I need some tension tamer tea. Let's see what people are saying about all. Oh, Ella, that's not a fair question. Okay, Ella says, who do you prefer, Meghan and Harry or William and Kate? I like them both the same. There we go. Diplomatic answer. Tim says, I should go to Sandringham on Christmas morning on the live feed. I'd love to, but I have to be with my own family. Sorry. L2L says, who needs fake news tabloids? We have your fun, positive tidbits, entertaining and informative. Thank you. After said, what about the kids, George, Charlotte and Louis? Well, again, we'll see them hopefully on Christmas morning. That's probably the next time that we will see them, unless we see any official, you know, Christmas photographs coming out. Any new ones, I don't know. So, I think I've tackled the Royal Foundation thing. They're just going to take it in turns. It's an annual event, so there's nothing in that. But again, the media is going to say that it's fueling this rift thing. Anyway, whatever. The royal group chat. So apparently, well, this is an old story actually. When I say old, it came about earlier this year, before the wedding. So way before the wedding. It may even have been the tail end of 2017. I can't remember, but I did see an article way back saying that Mike Tyndall had disclosed that there was a royal group chat. I'm sure you can all remember it if you've been following for a while. I probably even covered it myself. So it's not new news, it's just old, recycled garbage they're just putting up. Anyway, Mike did admit that pre-wedding there was a royal group chat, and it may have been to do with the wedding organisations, that kind of thing. But it does prove, you know, it's from the horse's mouth, so to speak, that they do communicate in WhatsApp groups. So that is true. That is totally true. And apparently there are lots of different groups going on. And Mike has said, what did he say? He said that he's scared to leave these sorts of groups in case people think he's being rude. So we don't know if it's an ongoing group or whether he was indicating that it's one that's kind of wound down and maybe just the odd message flies by, but he doesn't want to leave in case he misses it, or he's seen as being rude. So, but we do know that the royals do communicate on WhatsApp. Now, I found out that WhatsApp is actually quite a safe way of communicating for the royals because it is encrypted. So it's incredibly secure for them. I don't think you can hack an encrypted message. I'm not a hacker. I don't know. But I'm believing that if it's encrypted, it's safe. So I think it's quite a safe way of communicating. So that's probably why they do it. But like I say, it's a very old story. Billy Baby says, all you people watch fake channels. After that you come here and be asking me dumb questions. Meanwhile, you know they are fake. Some of them are completely obvious they're fake. Some of them use little bits of information that's true and then pad it out with complete fakery. So I can understand how some people may be a little bit confused about, you know, what's true and what's not. Maybe. Oh, apparently it's bitterly cold in San Diego right now. And Che definitely thinks love is a trap. Oh, hang on. Let's deal with Che. Hang on. Oh, there we go. I've just kicked him. There we go. He's gone. Ruining our chat. So there we go. That's basically all it is on the royal group chat. We don't know who's in the group chat. We don't know who's... But apparently there may be... Mike Tyndall's in loads of group chats. So maybe there's lots of different ones kind of going on. Mrs. BSN says, it's awesome that she's on the list. Oh, that's my next story. Don't rush me. Yes. Oh, hang on. Shay's back. Hang on. There we go. I've hid the user. There we go. I need some mods. Where's my mods? Sam says, I like that t-shirt. Thank you. It's beautiful, isn't it? For those of you who haven't seen. Okay, next story. Moving on. Moving on up. Meghan has been shortlisted for Time Magazine's 2018 Person of the Year. She is a finalist. Oh, what is up with this? My goodness. Okay. For Time Magazine's 2018 Person of the Year. Now, you'd think it was a really good thing, but let's see who she's up against. Hang on. So she's up against... Let's have a look. She's up against Trump. She's up against Putin. And she's up against Jamal Khashoggi. Now, Jamal Khashoggi, I don't mind. He was obviously the guy that went into the embassy and didn't come out alive. Let's just not even go there. So I don't mind him being on there. He did speak out for human rights issues, blah, blah, blah. Trump and Putin on there, you know, I'll leave that up to you to decide whether they should be nominated and be a finalist. So she's up there with a very select bunch of people, shall we say. My goodness, what is going on in this chat tonight? Hang on, again. Okay. I think I've hidden some messages from that person. So she's been shortlisted, so you can celebrate. Whether she's going to win or not, I have no idea. I don't even know how you vote. Is it a public vote, or is it Time Magazine that get to decide? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not really au fait with Time Magazine. Can someone tell me? What is the procedure? I'm not actually entirely sure. L2L, while I'm waiting, says, any news about Michelle Obama's visit with Meghan? Apparently they did meet privately, but obviously we don't know what was said. There has been reports that Michelle Obama advised Meghan to take it easy, not to rush into things, that kind of advice, which I think is very good advice, and I think Meghan probably should heed it, if indeed it was advice that was given, but we certainly aren't going to know what happened in that private conversation. And then that leaves us with the Thomas Markle story. So Thomas, dear old Thomas, has decided to speak out again. Yes, let's spill the tea. Yes, Thomas has decided to speak out again. Okay. So in the article, I mean, he didn't trash her. I've read it. He didn't out trash her, but he did, I think, want to correct some of the lies and rumours, and he was as bemused as we are about all the reports about her being nasty to staff and making Catherine cry. So we'll get to that. Let's go through some of my notes. So he showed some of Meghan's handwritten notes, obviously from the past, saying how much she loved him and dearest daddy, and it was signed Bean. And of course her beautiful calligraphy, her beautiful handwriting. I wish mine was like that. So he showed those, and he also showed off documents to prove that he had the heart attack, because of course that was one of the lies. He did also say that he has been frozen out. Like I've said in previous chats, I think this is so, it gives him time to prove that he can be trusted. I mean, he needs to look at it that way. He's now got time to prove it's probably going to take a lot of time, but he needs to prove that he can be trusted, and by doing these sorts of interviews, he's not really doing that. He needs to just zip it. Zip. That's what he needs to do, and then over time, maybe Meghan will begin to trust him. So he said that he sent letters to the palace, to Meghan's aides. He sent letters through Doria. He's not had a response. He's been frozen out. He also addressed, like I said, those lies. Now, one of the lies was that he had a heart attack. He produced medical documents to prove that he did have the heart attack before the wedding, which prevented him from leaving. The next lie or rumour was that he didn't attend Meghan's first wedding. He provided a photograph taken shortly before he walked down the aisle, or she went down the aisle. So there was photographic evidence that he definitely did attend her first wedding. There was also the kind of rumours that he wasn't close to Meghan growing up, and of course he produced those handwritten notes to prove that he was close to her. She called him dearest daddy, and the letters that I've read were full of affection for her father. So he proved that they did used to have a close relationship. The only one that he didn't kind of prove was he said it was a lie about the selling of stories to make money. From the bit that I read, he didn't produce any information to say that he didn't receive money. So, open verdict on that one. But yes, he still insists that he didn't sell the stories for money and that kind of thing. And he also is totally bemused by the Catherine-Meghan rift rumours, because he said that Meghan can be demanding. Okay, she can be demanding, but he said that he didn't recognise all the things coming out about her making people cry and the assistants leaving because she was being horrible. All this business, he says that's not the person that he recognises. And I kind of believe him on that one, because, people can view demanding in different ways. I mean, if you like things done... Okay, let's take me with my Christmas tree. I'm sure you've seen my Christmas tree videos. If Jason helps me pack away the Christmas decorations, I am incredibly demanding in how I want them put away because I like them organised. I like them organised. I like them the way that I like them. And I suppose I am incredibly demanding in how I want them put away. You know, people can be demanding, but it's not always a bad thing. You know, it can be for a good thing. It's because you like things done right. You know, you're demanding because you care. You're demanding because you want things done in the right way that you think is the right way. So I can understand the demanding, but I agree with him. I'm not buying all the nasty, that she's making Catherine cry over the Princess Charlotte dress. I'm just not getting it. And I'm also not buying that assistants are leaving because she's being horrible. You know, I think a lot of her staff have been temporary staff until she's found people that she wants for a long standing time. Because when you're building a team, it's a little bit like a craft. You know, you have to build a sort of team around you that work well with you, that complement you. And I think that's what she's doing. I don't think a lot of the staff that have left were ever meant to be long term. I think it was always supposed to be temporary. You know, find other people, and of course, Meghan will be getting ready and preparing to release the sort of engagements and the patronages that she'll be supporting going forwards in January. She'll be possibly revealing a few early in January, so we'll get to see the shape of what her royal engagements and what her royal role is going to look like, as well as being part of the Royal Foundation with the Heads Together and the mental health and all that goodness. So I don't know, that's my take on that, and that's what Thomas Markle said, but nothing outrageous, shall we say. Let's take a few comments. I've spoken for quite a while. Denise says, yes, it's not always an honour to be named Times Person of the Year. It's the people she's up with. Mrs. BSN says, I'm horrified that he released letters. Seriously, he's a mental case. Well, no comment on the mental case, but if he's releasing letters, private letters, like I said before, it's not going any way to prove that he can be trusted. Yeah, I can't help anyone that doesn't want to be helped. I've given advice. People liking the shirt, thank you. Michael says, well, anyway, she will always be his daughter, his boon. So maybe that's his way of showing he is changing. But then again, he's just spewing out private letters. I don't get it. Sabina, is it Sabina or Sabina says, I'm sorry, but there is no reason he should be going into the media. It should be a private matter. I completely agree. Madeline says, I'm a good person. Thank you. Sam wants Meghan to be Person of the Year. When it says Time Magazine decides, it must be the person who most influenced the work, in their view, not a popularity contest as we would think. Okay, well, it's decided by Time, so they obviously already know who's won, don't they? Depends who they want to suck up to. Probably Trump's won. Denise says, these are all probably the reasons why she didn't have more family at the wedding. Yes, he was quiet for 2 months. Well done. And then you go and break it with private letters. It bothers me. Jerry says, that statement is not a compliment. Her being demanding is one of the media attacks. I would agree, but I don't interpret being... Okay, yes, I think they're trying to make it a negative, but I don't necessarily see the demanding bit as being negative. I don't know, maybe that's because I'm demanding myself. But it doesn't make me a bad person. There you go. I can be demanding. We also call it being fussy. Vinny says, Thomas doesn't have to prove anything. He is not of any importance. He needs to realise that he is not a star and that Meghan is the important media figure. Deborah says, the medical bill was dated in the month of July 2018. How long does it take for a medical bill to come through? We don't have medical bills in the UK, so I'm not au fait with medical bills. but they did seem rather astronomical. Okay, I'm just scrubbing. Let's scrub down a little bit. Comment says, I'm demanding depends on what I'm being demanding about. Well, that's true. Michael says, Samantha needs to stay away. Tim says there are no medical bills in the UK. No, we have the NHS, the National Health Service, the pride of Britain. Since the 1950s, everybody is entitled to free health. Well, free. I mean, we pay for it in taxes. But everybody, even the people that don't pay the taxes, are entitled to free health care because we, as British people, it's one of our fundamental British values. It's instilled in us that we value health above everything else. Doesn't matter whether you're wealthy, doesn't matter whether you're poor. The most important thing in life is that you are healthy. And, you know, whether you're homeless on the streets, if you need medical attention, we the British feel and in our core that that you should have access to that. Free at the point of access. We have no medical bills. It's expensive. It's not necessarily the best service in the whole world, but it meets our values. Comment says, I need to move to the UK. Carol says, I just found your live chat. Well, hello and welcome. Michael says, Meghan's nephew in the reality show said that his dad and grandfather and aunt Samantha were never really close. Even the nephew's name is from his mother's, Dooley is from his mother's side. That tells a lot. And again, that goes back to what I said about, I think, not being close to her, to that side of the family, is just a long-standing thing. Ashton says, his career was spent in Hollywood. He certainly had the media savvy to do this. He was, well, he says he wasn't, but okay, I get what you're saying. Let's scrub up a little bit. Joan says, I wouldn't care if you were demanding. I would love to be your personal assistant. Again, demanding doesn't mean you have to be mean to people. I wouldn't, if I had a personal assistant, I wouldn't be mean to them. Okay, let's go down. I've kind of spoke about everything that I want. How are we doing for time? 27 minutes, my goodness. Okay, I think I'm going to leave today's chat here. I think we've mentioned all of the recent Meghan and Harry and Fab4 stories that have been going on, all the things in the press. Oh, Rosie Chappett says, just noticed your t-shirt, hysterical. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here now. If you have enjoyed this chat, then please give it a big old thumbs up. I'm waiting for you to just hit that thumbs up button. It takes seconds. Don't forget to share on social media, and also hit that notification bell, because when YouTube decides that it wants to notify you that I put up a new video, it might. So you might get lucky. So hit the notification bell just in case. And from me in Shropshire, goodbye.